Okay, good afternoon, folks. So I'm a little bit late. I just lost track of time there. So, Daryl, good morning to you. Karina, good morning. Exponential, how you doing? Tony, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so not much volume overnight. We gapped down a little bit, and then we've come down, and we're just chopping backwards and forth at the moment. So it's hard to know exactly what's going on. So I'm just going to do that. Excuse me a sec. Bear with me just a second. I'm just going to shut my... Sorry about that. Okay, so channel break, new high. There's a lower high there, but that stem is a little bit naff. Let me just see if it's better on this chart. No, there's still a bit of a stem there. It is a lower high, but just not a massive fan of that. Let me just set this up. So let me just check everything's working as it should.
Order submitted.
Yeah. Excellent.
Order cancelled.
Okay, so everyone's had a relaxing weekend and ready for business. So that would have worked. The bar's no good, to be honest with you. So let's just have a look. What are we looking at? So it worked well, that. It's just the bar was no good. We did have a little break and a lower high, but if that had been a little bit better, what's that ATR like? Not too bad. So channel with a break and quite likely a new low, so it looks like it's going to take that bar out the bottom there. I'm not sure whether I expect this thing to come down a bit. I kind of do. Whether we get something like that. Leg and a leg. Depends how you're looking at this, really. I mean, you could open that up. But we've already made a new low, so it's kind of irrelevant, really. Straight lines, how you doing, buddy? Okay, just don't want to go long here. It's a nice solid bar off the bottom, but I have a feeling this may come down a little bit more. It may not, but it's 22 ticks, and I'll be buying that, hoping it's going to push up. I'm not a fan of picking tops and bottoms. I'm just not very good at it. So it did work. Trouble is, when we started off like this, it's just hard to say exactly where we're going to go. We had a break at a new level. We pushed up and we had 2 legs down. Jan, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so I have a feeling this is going to drop out the bottom and get somewhere out far, but I just think it's going to clean all this area out before it does whatever it wants to do. Because we pushed down and then started going sideways, so I still expect to drop out the bottom. It's cold today in the UK. Fucking freezing. Okay, so we got some news coming up in about 12 minutes. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I need, I think, like 1 profitable day. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 1 profitable day out the next 3. I should be able to take a payment, 6,000, somewhere around about there. We'll see. And there's still plenty left of the rest of the month as well to build. So what I'm probably going to do is add a few more I'm hoping they have a deal on evaluations, but you can reset them for $50, I think. So see how we get on the next couple of days, and I'm going to pick a couple more up. Marco's got that. I don't think Dan's in today. I know it's his birthday, so a break at a new high, and then we've come back down, so I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I don't think Dan's trading today, is he? I haven't seen anything yet. Mitchy. Yeah, news coming up. Yeah, you'll get a little bleep from my news indicator here, 5 minutes before and 2 minutes before. Yeah, bank holiday in the UK today. Doesn't seem to make much difference on price, usually. We'll see. We couldn't get up to the top here, so my gut feeling is this is still going to come down and break these lows because we traded down into this, so I expect to come down. Now, you may argue if there's a bullish bar, there's a second entry long here, but this to me is it's coming below here, and below here as well. I'm usually pretty accurate with these, especially as we traded down into it. Couldn't quite get to the top of it. So we're below there now, so that'll be next, I'm guessing. Mind you, I suppose most of the bullish bars were really there, and there, not so much there. Yes, I refreshed. Does my chart look any different from anybody else's? Or is it just Jay's? Yeah, I did reload. Okay, so that bullish bar's triggered. Now my guess is it's going to come down. I could be wrong because it has cleaned off everything apart from that. But as we traded down, I'm still expecting to get a little bit lower. Try refreshing yours again, bud. And if not, I'll do mine again. Same as your, yeah, okay, no worries. Yeah, I'm going to say I did mine as to be fair, I was just sat here looking at price and fiddling around. I didn't even realise we'd gone 3 o'clock until I saw price, sorry, 2:30, until I saw price starting to flicker around. There's not much you can do with this, to be fair. You took the triple test after refreshing it. You're about down here, are you? Just makes me nervous. I mean, because we pushed down into it, I expect it to drop out the bottom. Another red flag for me is we couldn't quite get to the top. It looks like it's working. I mean, it needed to clear, especially those two areas out. Maybe it wasn't that, but... I mean, you can definitely argue it's a second entry long. I think it was a 4 to 6 tick mat skip only, yeah. There is a time to take those. I know it's not that I disagree with the point, I just don't go for it. But I think if there's an obvious easy point, you'd be daft to turn it down, really, wouldn't you? Money's money, isn't it? Just subscribe to level 2 data using heat map. Have you experience with that? Book map, you mean? Yeah, I mean, I haven't had the level 2 data. When I've looked at book map in the past, I've just looked at it that it's free on YouTube. I mean, there's definitely a place for it. I'm not sure. I don't know really. I probably didn't, you know, I understand how it works, but I probably didn't learn about how to get the full benefit of it. But, you know, it shows you areas of liquidity. So, you know, if you had a big area of buyers down here, you may not be thinking about selling. So, you know, a lot of people swear by it and use it. It's definitely worth looking at. Have a look. So occasionally I'll have a look at it just out of curiosity. So that's it there. So I think that's the yes, isn't it? Yeah. So it shows you areas of liquidity. You can see the liquidity down here, which is down about 650 down here somewhere, which is why I was expecting price to come down. There's some at 675 up here, so once it hits these areas, sometimes if there's enough buyers it'll push through, sometimes it'll sell off and come back. So it's definitely a quieter day. I mean, you can see there's a big load of orders up there. 775 are up here somewhere, so it's hard to say. I've just never got the full I've just never spent the time really to fully understand how it all works. You know, I know these are passive orders sat in the order book. I know the green dots are aggressive buyers and red dots are aggressive sellers, and so on and so forth. So, you know, obviously the darker areas are the, you know, where you've got the bigger orders. Black areas not so much. But we got news. Have you ever noticed as well with the news, you get this just before the news, you get this big black area here where people get out of trades. You can see, obviously, back here, and as soon as we're getting close to the news now, everything just starts to die off and all the orders drop out. So, news pending. 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So there's definitely a place for it, that's for sure. I keep meaning to try and get to fully understanding order flow. You know, a lot of people swear by order flow. Apparently it's quite difficult to read, but when you can read it and quite quickly at a quick glance, it's supposed to be invaluable. So it's, you know, so people say. Okay, news. Let's see what happens. Quick spike up. There's a gap to fill. There is a gap to fill, yeah. Whether it'll fill it straight away or not here. In fact, I usually draw that. I'll put that there. Somewhere about there, wasn't it? So, yeah, there's a gap to fill there. There's a gap below from Friday, is there? Not on my chart. You got about gap for... Gap below from Friday. We never filled. Okay, so we've got out of here and price is holding, yeah, 56.11. Okay. Sorry, mate. Yes, I just sneezed. I put me covered me mic. I just sneezed. My mistake. Okay, so I don't think that's a channel. It just looks like there's a smaller one with a break, I think. Just looks like a channel and a break, and we're coming back down maybe to retest this, or are we going to clear this area down here? It's hard to say. Nutty bar pullback. I'd love to have the nerve to just trade pullbacks. Trouble is with Pats, you don't get a lot of setups. You can go all day and not take a trade. I don't think I've ever seen Nutty not take a trade. Oh, I did. Who was it who asked for this expenses? I just put my expenses on there. I'm showing the what it's costing me as well. So I've had a little bit this month, but not much. I just want to wait for a payment before I add any more. So channel break, new high. Let's have a little look here. Positive expenses and in green. Yeah, that's only May's, by the way. May pay. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Just a wider range, maybe. Yeah, possible. It's possible. Yeah, that $92, whatever it was a reset from 150,000 account. And an 80% off 4 or 5 days ago for an account I lost. I think it was 80% off, yeah, for an account I lost. I'm going to add some more to it when I get a payment. I might add another 3. Well, I'm going to try and add an extra 3 add an extra 3 PA accounts. I actually feel a bit ropey today. I went out with a friend on... What day is it today? I went out with a friend on Saturday. I had a few whiskers at home and went out with a friend and had quite a few. And I feel like I haven't fully recovered, which is unusual for me. I don't really feel rough, but I think I had about 4 or 5. You know, when you just wake up and you feel like a drink, I had about 4 or 5 double whiskers at home, and a mate phoned me up and said he was going for a beer. Did I want to come out? So I felt pretty rough yesterday. I still don't feel fully compos mentis this morning, but there you go. trying 150 accounts. I'm trying to add one or two. I think you can reset them for $50. I reset one, which they're not too bad, but I blew it pretty quick. On Friday, we had some. We've having some solar panels fitted. We've part had some solar panels fitted, but the scaffolders haven't gone quite wide enough out on the roof. So they've got to come back. And we're having a new fan fitted in the bathroom. We had these guys doing pressure tests. They had these great big tanks, and they were firing off these loud sounds, checking the pressure or something or other. I don't know. And they just turned up just before I was about to stream, hence no stream on Friday. So I still traded a bit. I didn't take any trades. I just took a one-tick micro just to make the day count. But I didn't take anything, to be honest with you. But I was in and out with those. There's loads of electrical gear here ready for the electricians to sort of wire it all in. I'm not sure about this because I've got that as a possible channel. So we've made one attempt to go higher. We may take a second attempt. My gut feeling is it's going to come down and clear all this out. But don't listen to me. Sometimes I get in these weird frame of minds where I kind of get a little bit tunnel vision. So there is a possible second entry short here, but I don't like it. It's a bit congested. We've just made a matching high. There's a higher low there. If I was interested in taking any type of a short there, for me, it would have to really trigger that bullish bar there. So I don't know. It's not super clear at the moment, but I'd like to see it come down here. I just see this. We just see it a lot, don't we? You see certain patterns. We come down into the range and usually we'll drop out the bottom. But obviously the news created that little bit of a spike. So once we've cleared out maybe a bunch of stops here or something, it may decide to not come down. It's hard to say at the moment. Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? I didn't see you there, mate. Okay, so that bullish bar has triggered. Trouble is, it's congested, so who knows where it's going to go. I mean, you could argue there's a second entry short which is triggered there, so this may push up, but it's clearly stacking up a bit here, so yeah, I mean, I just have this fading leg down, clear this area here. But took the high low. You on about that one there, did you? I worry about that. Purely because we've bounced at the top and we've got a channel down with a break. We've made one attempt to go higher. This looks like a second attempt to go higher. So my gut feeling is that bar is vulnerable. I wouldn't want to be going long here. You know, 2/3 of the way up to the top. Yeah, I just won't want to trade here because it's stacked up. It's all right. I'm keeping an eye on the snooker as well. Snooker World Championship. Okay, so there's a lower high there, so that's going to get stopped out, and that'll get stopped out as well. It's easy pickings there. There's no reason why that would happen. but I wouldn't want to take a trade. You could even say there's a triple test there, but because it's stacked up, I'm leaving alone. But that one's now got stopped out. That'll be next. Glad you stayed out. Yeah, that one got taken out. I can't see how that would trigger. They come all the way down to the bottom and not break below there. So yeah. So we're below there now by a tick. I still wouldn't take a short here because it's choppy. You know, it's very tempting to think 2 legs up, lower high, let's get into this push down. But look, that's triggered and it's already pushing back up because it's just stacked up. It's just choppy. You know, the way it's acting, leg up, sideways, leg up. Not for me, bud. Not for me. Yeah, see, bearish bar there, lower high, triggered you, straight up, stopped you out. So the 2 bull bars got taken out and the bear bar. So, you know, depending on which way you were thinking, because it starts going like that. We've got any snooker fans here. I don't know, you US guys play snooker, do you? I know you guys play pool. I think they're going to have the first Chinese world champion ever. Well, I think he's only 3 frames away from winning it, to be honest with you. Used to watch it a lot. Stephen Hendry and John Higgins were in their prime. Yeah, absolutely. Higgins actually did well. I think it went down to a black ball game. He'd have been in the final otherwise. But it's nice to see some of the older guys still hanging in there. But yeah, John Higgins. He's looking old, John Higgins. Although I think he's in his, I don't know, he's early. He's only about 51, I think, but he looks really old. I'm just thinking Ronnie O'Sullivan's coming to the end of his career. I think he's struggling at the moment. Now, you can never underestimate him. But yeah, there you go. So it does look like a leg up sideways and a leg up. But is this thing then going to flush down? Fail break out of a range, possibly. Oh, really? Did you really? I mean, there's never been a player like him, is there? Just absolute natural talent. But I don't know. I just have a feeling he's coming to the end of his career. He's struggling a little bit, mind you. He's struggled before. He's had that mental game for a long time, hasn't he? But it's nice to see Mark Williams in the final. He's a nice guy. Just real comical, pretty relaxed. He's a nice guy. He's got a nice personality. But he's getting walked all over by this new young Chinese lad who still isn't professional yet. But yeah, there's there's not been no one like Ronnie O'Sullivan, isn't it? I suppose Jimmy White, although Jimmy White never really won anything, but he was very natural in his day, wasn't he? But it would have been nice to see Ronnie O'Sullivan do his pick up his 8 World Championship. I'm very tempted to take that, but I'm going to sit out because we've got a channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. Fail break out of this, but I'm staying out of it, I think. But yeah, absolute natural gift. And I think, you know, what I find sometimes is when you find people who have that natural ability, sometimes they often struggle with these mental health issues. That got sheer brilliance. Very tempted to go short there. I feel this 2 legs up, this thing's going to come down. See if we get a lower high. Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame, really, that it came down to a black ball game, didn't it, with John Higgins and Mark Williams. I really wanted to take that. 2 clear legs up, leg up, fail break out of this. Just decided to wait though. It wasn't a huge risk. Clearly 2 legs up and a fail break out of this. It clearly worked. You could argue 1, 2, 3 triple test maybe. Trouble is, I always like it to break above there and clear out in liquidity because sometimes it'll trigger you, stop you out, give you a bearish bar and then come down. But it is working. I expect that to get down here because it looks like a channel with 2 attempts to push higher. 1, 2, maybe 3 attempts. So I expect this to get below here. Trouble is, I don't like taking these because I don't have a lot of success with them. Whenever I don't take them, they seem to work as soon as I get in there. And then all of a sudden you start to see that bullish bar coming back and straight away you're on your heckles, aren't you? But then it's working. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is coming down below there for me. So 2 clear legs up and a push down. and where we're trading, wanting to pass an eval, A plus. Yeah, I as much as I try hard to trade evaluations slowly, I find it very difficult. I see some kind of a move, and I end up jumping in with 10 contracts. I think I tend to have about a 1 to 3 hit rate. So for every 3 evaluations, I'll probably pass 1, somewhere along those lines. We have got some, I think it's the 13th. We've got some CPI news coming up. I think it's the 13th. And what I'm going to do is pick up a couple of 150,000 evals and try and pass them on that. But yeah, it's so hard in it with evaluations. You just get a bit too excited, don't you? You see a move and you just want to jump in. No, it's not. I tell you something, it's a bad habit to get into, to be honest with you. I blame Apex, so they can say we pass it in one day. I blame them. Okay, we're pushing down and testing the underside of this. Leg and a leg down. FOMC on Wednesday, is it really? But I think the one that tends to work well is the CPI. That tends to, you tend to get fireworks. So I'm going to have a go at a couple of, that's as long as we get a decent, I mean, we've got 2 weeks before that, I think. Maybe 10 days, 10 days. In fact, let me have a look. So hopefully we get a decent discount. Well, at least 50%. Let's have a look. Calendar. Sure, it was around the 13th. Yeah, it's the 13th. So where are we today? So it's 12 days away. This is not working how I expected it. I thought that was going to push down below there. Wasting time, that's why I don't like. Yeah. It is really wasting money, isn't it, when you think about it? Hair trigger and impulse. Yeah, it's a battle. It's difficult to control yourself, isn't it? It is difficult to control yourself. What I'm doing is allowing myself a certain amount of money per month, and when it's gone, I think probably I might allow myself, say, $1,000 a month to pick up new accounts, and when it's gone, it's gone. You know what I mean? So I haven't done much. We got no discounts at the moment, see, so I tend to do most of mine. Occasionally I'll reset accounts. That those two will reset, the $90 odd. But yeah, I'm probably going to allow myself something like $1,000 per month maximum. I don't think that's a huge amount. Treat it more like a business myself. You have to, mate. That's. I tell you something. I think we all go through the same things. Sometimes you don't notice. You know, when you start talking to people, it's surprising. We all have the same issues. But yeah, I've seen that comment in so many videos. You need to treat it like a business, and then all of a sudden you get a new eval, and then straight away, as soon as a setup comes over, you just jump in with tons of contracts. It's crazy, really, isn't it? But yeah, we need to. I think what I'm trying to do more than anything, I forget, it was somebody mentioned it. Was it Jay? I can't remember. Mentioned it around Christmas, saying his mission this year was to try and hold on to PA accounts and not blow them. Evaluations, I think, really, you can be a little bit more aggressive, but with your PA accounts, those are the ones where you've really got to treat with respect. And I haven't done in the past. I've thrown so many away just taking stupid risks. Just, I used to do this thing, not so much recently, where I used to get a new PA account and just go for 4 contracts and just try and get a 4 or 5 point move and try and get me account to $800 just to give it a bit of a boost. And it works sometimes, but the one time it doesn't, you end up blowing the account, and I can't tell you how many times I did that. Most of us earn minimum wage. Yeah. Yeah, it's a, you have to do it religiously, don't you? I mean, you've really got to stick to your guns and, yeah, someone's just put a comment on there. Don't be a donator. Mind you, Matt goes about donating to the market. I think, doesn't he realise none of us actually donate to the markets. We donate to Apex. I wouldn't mind if other traders got some of my money, but the only traders I know that get my money is Apex. Yeah, so we got 2 legs up. I still think this is going to come down below here. It's just choppy. Copy vals and the same exact trades, but use the ratio to replicanto. Only 1 or 2 passing. Yeah, I think you're better off copying them and maybe going for 3 or 4 contracts, or maybe trying to pass it in maybe 5 trades or something like that, rather than go for. Trouble is, if you go for 10 contracts, you could be in and out of a trade and blown the account in 5 seconds. That's the trouble. A lot of the times, if you're going long here, it'll go up maybe $1,000, $1,500, come back $2,000. Your account's blown and it'll end up carrying on. So the trouble is, if you don't give yourself enough room for pullbacks within a bar, you're screwed. So I think maybe go for a maximum of 5 contracts, but just copy 5 contracts exactly the same way that you treat your normal accounts. So if I'm going for, let's say if I go for 150 on 1 contract, 5 contracts, 750, technically 4 trades, and you pass, give or take, maybe in a couple of extra ticks just to cover your. So it's probably a lot better way of doing it, isn't it? I think the trouble is, because you can pass it in a day, if you trade it now, you could be on a live account earning money tomorrow. But it's all good and well saying that, but if you're blowing 7 out of 10 of them, you're no better off. You are just throwing money away, really, and it's kind of treating it like a casino, really, isn't it? And there's probably an element of why we do it, because there's a little bit of a buzz when they pass. But I think trading 10 contracts, it's pure luck, really, because as I say, you could have the best trade in the world. If it goes up 2 points, comes back 2 points, once it takes that drawdown up and then comes back, it's surprising. We've only got $2,500. If it goes up, say $1,500, comes down $1,500, the account's blown. So it's hard to trade this. Now, there may be a shoulder, head and a shoulder, in which case this may come down, and I think it probably will. But there's just no setups really there. So it's just hard, really, isn't it? You've really got to keep control of yourself. Yeah, it is just stacking up. You can get chopped up in this. I mean, my gut feeling is it's coming down below there and then maybe eventually here. Just isn't anything, is there? No failed long there at all. Yeah, you're right, Karina. You're right. Okay, so 2 legs up. That trade worked and nice. Took a bit of time, but clearly 2 attempts to push up. Failed break out of this, clearly chopping here. We expect a leg up and a leg up. And then it found its way back in, had a pull back and then down. So it's a trade I like that. I like the look of it. But, you know, it's, I don't know, I just don't like picking tops. I mean, you can argue. I can't see how Mac wouldn't mark that. It's clearly a triple test. It's clearly 2 legs up. I just need to be super strict. One more profitable day out the next 3, I can take a payment then. So channel break, 1, 2 pushes to a new low. 1, 2, 3. Good on you, mate. Yeah, you've got to be super strict. Wait for something obvious. That's what I'm trying to do. Like the wider channel down. I'm not sure about this one. See, let's have a look. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Oh, the wider range. Are you on about from the top to the bottom here? On about that, are you? Assume you're on about that, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely something there, isn't there? Can we go a bit lower? In fact, I'm going to take that up a bit. So we've had a small breakout there and a small one there. Hey, Speedy, how you doing, buddy? Trouble is, we're in a channel now. Okay, so that's cleared everything out now, including that. Okay, excuse me just a quick second. I'm just going to take a bathroom break. I'll be a minute. I was going to say possible lower high here. The trouble is because we come down and bounce right off there and pushed up, I wouldn't be in the market for one. You're trapped in it, are you? It's hard to know what's going on here. I mean, there'll be bulls there, bulls there, bulls there. Is it 1, 2, 3 attempts? You get short there, but I'm going to break new high. Try go once, try go twice, failure, and then down. Just can't trade this stuff really. It's just doji and wiki and I mean, it's looking like it's trying to push up, but how far is it going to go? You're going to have bulls there's buyers there. You're going to have buyers there as well. So this may flush down, clear this out. It's just hard to trade this stuff. I mean, it could drop back into the range. Who knows? Okay, so while it's doing this, I'm going to take advantage of making a quick cup of tea. And then I'll be back. So where's my 5 minutes? So I'm just going to put that on there. I'm just going to make a quick cup of tea. You can't do nothing here anyway, so I need to give a little bit of space. So I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be back. Okay. Super. Okay. So, measured leg, played out. So I'm guessing this thing is trying to push higher. It's going up quite steep though, so what I'd like to see is some kind of I can't see it going up at that level, not that steep. Yeah, someone else I've just noticed has got that. So let's put that there somewhere. That there. Yeah, I doubt that'd go up that steep just by itself. So we had that big move down. We went a bunch sideways. We made a matching low. That was about all she wrote, and it does look like it's slowly winding up. I was very tempted to take a trade on the CL. I haven't got it set up at the moment. I'm just watching it for a couple of days. This is oil. We had a channel there with a break and a new high. I was tempted there, but it is a little bit stacked up. Not only that, the channel has already had a break and a new low and a bunch of bounces, so you just never know. A lower high would have been better, but it did work. It is a second entry short, and it is a little micro channel with a break and a new high. So I'm just looking at this at the moment with the option to possibly trade it as well. Definitely low volume today. It's not very exciting, is it? It's clearly working. It's clearly bouncing off that midline. It doesn't look too bad there, does it? Trouble is, we're right at the very top. So I think really for me to be interested in getting in here, it's going to have to do something like that, really. Somewhere along those lines. I'm just not a fan of taking them off that midline because you never know when it's going to decide to come into this section. Anybody using a Take Profit Trader at the moment? Anybody got any accounts with them? I'm tempted when I get a payment next to get a couple. I want to start branching out a little bit, trying to get a bit of everything. They still have that where there's no fee at the moment, is there? Great firm, yeah. They don't do. In fact, at the moment, what does it cost? You pay, isn't it like 85 and 95, and there's no, because you used to have to pay another $130, but apparently you get a voucher for it or something I was reading yesterday. Well, it's flicking around a bit now. What's causing that? To use eventually pair, get some accounts there. Just bears in mind. Just bear in mind, trailing drawdown once funded. Trailing, isn't it an end of day drawdown with take profit trader? I think the thing I like about now, don't get me wrong, my accounts now are all above the oh, it's not. So it's a trailing drawdown. Ah, okay. My accounts with Apex are now all above 2,600. So my drawdown stays where it is now. So if I did want to go for bigger points here, I could, make it work. End of day in the eval. Okay. Okay. Won't it get to a certain amount and stop though? Won't it? Will it? Doesn't it get to a certain amount and stop? Correct. Yeah. I'd like to get back up to my 20 accounts with Apex and maybe trade them just 10 at a time. I don't know. We'll see. And I'd like to ideally get maybe 5 accounts with Take Profit Trader. And then when I get something slightly better payment, I'd like to, when you hit the buffer, which is drawdown, yeah. So same as Apex, basically. Yeah, and also the other one as well, straight to funded. I'd like to have a go at some of those as well. That's later on this year. That's my plan for this year, to get back to 20 accounts with Apex and just trade them one contract carefully and trade everything. In the past, I've spent too much time splitting them up and trading one account this way and a bit more aggressively, and it just doesn't work. The only way really to do it is to trade everything. See, what I used to do is say, I'll take this trade, but I'm only going to use this one account. Well, straight away, I've just admitted myself I'm taking a riskier trade. So I think if a trade's good enough to trade all your accounts, it's good enough. I have a SF2 with Traderify. I recommend them. Yeah, Traderify I'd like to have a go at. Yeah, straight to funded. I think, in fact, I priced it up the other day. I think if it's your very first account, I think you get 40% off, which takes it down to about $350. That's for the 150,000 account. But if you, I don't know, if you do say the 150 on Apex and you blow 5 evaluations and you get a PA, you've more or less paid for the same price anyway, but you've just saved yourself the hassle of the evaluation. So yeah, I like what Nut has done. He's got his accounts with Apex, and he's got maybe 5 with Take Profit, 5 with something like that. At least that way, you've not got all your eggs in one basket. It does make sense, doesn't it? So that's the plan for this year. So far, January, February, March, and April, I've had payments. Not the best payment in April. Having said that, it has been a difficult month. This month will be better. I'm only a few days away from another payment, so that should start April off nice. May off nice. I have 150 with Traderify. You get $6,000 drawdown. You can use a few more yeah. I think that's the beauty. Use 5 contracts. Yeah. The beauty is, if you think about it, it's like having 2 $50,000 accounts. In fact, a little bit more, isn't it? So you draw down with 2 $50,000 accounts is, say, 2,500 a piece, which is 5,000. So let's say it's the equivalent of having 2.5 50. So if let's say you did 3 evaluations, 80% off, there's $100, and you paid 130 for the PA fee. That's if you passed it in 3. That's cost you $230 for one 50,000 account. If you have 2 50 accounts, it's cost you over 300. We say 2. That's cost you $400 odd anyway. So it kind of works out cheaper, and you haven't got all the hassle of having to, do the Can't take a trade here. It's stacked up. You haven't got all the hassle of having to do evaluations. I think sometimes evaluations get you into bad habits, and if you've blown 3, 4 or 5 and you still haven't passed one, you can get a bit frustrated, and you don't want to be feeling like that when you're trading. So channel down sideways. I don't want to take a trade here. It's clearly stacked up. My guess is if it's stacked up, it could have a second leg down and stop that out. You're long. Yeah, I'm just... For me, channel down with a break. If it goes sideways, any longs here usually are vulnerable. Now, you know, there's a slight bullish bias here, but to be fair, my gut feeling is that is vulnerable, that bar there. And I'm expecting a possible leg down. So if it stops that out and then maybe get a long here somewhere. But my only bit that concerns me about trade along this middle line, you never quite know when it's going to duck down into this section. We have had 2 measured legs, a little bit more than a second measured leg, so it's hard to say. Just call me Captain Doge. Oh, ouch. Yeah. So you'd have to say that's vulnerable, especially when it goes like that. And actually, it's a second entry long that's a failure. So it's failing as well. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it doesn't get any more congested than that. It's clear as day, isn't it? Yeah, you can't get that wrong. Well, I mean, you could trade there, and it may work, but channel down like that and sideways, for me, it's gonna snap back all day long. That is. So now my only concern is it comes down here and picks off liquidity here and here, which would get it down to this level. Would kind of bounce off this area here, so a leg and a leg. It would have to go a bit lower for me to gain interest. So that comes down here and picks off liquidity here, which it could well do. That would bounce here. So just have to keep an eye on that. You got stopped. Yeah. I hate seeing people lose trades. Trouble is, when it stacks up like that, it's just the chance of it working then just slowly goes out the window. So I mean, that is bullish and sat in the middle, and I just don't like it though. Not with all this liquidity left here. No nutty today. Oh yes. He's finished. That was a short day. Just seeing how everyone else is doing. Alpine's not trading today, I don't think, is he? Nutty's finished. No Bart today, no. Oh, he is. Oh. Oh, he's finished as well. Everyone's finished early today. Yeah, it's all stacked up here, isn't it? I'd like it to come down here, ideally, and bounce off this level. 2 legs down. It's just congested to hell, isn't it? Yeah, see, looking at book map, there's big orders here. 690. Yeah, it's definitely low volume today. There's not a lot of volume. It's very slow. Let me quiet until that. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I didn't think of that. So for me, really, I'd like to get below, just below this line here, liquidity here, and possibly here as well. Okay, it's kind of like 2 legs back, but there's just no entry there, really, is there? It's just choppy, really. There's just nothing you can do, really, to go long there. So there is liquidity, a lot more liquidity higher than there is lower. It's definitely a slow day today, isn't it? No argument there. Certainly are, Karina, you're not wrong. As somebody mentioned, FOMC Wednesday, so sometimes it can be a bit like that, can't it? Leading up to it. Well, I think April was bloody awful, to be honest with you. High volatility and crazy. Mind you, I didn't like that either. I mean, April, it was just like every 5 minutes somebody was tweeting and market just spiked up. You know that short I took down the bottom? It was 1 tick away or 1 or 2 ticks away and it just launched down. That was happening a lot, that was. It did made trading a bit scary. I'm going to say, you guys are in, you know, you guys who take runners, it must be scary as hell sat in a runner. Knowing that someone may drop a tweet and the thing may decide to take a dump. Mind you, it's weird, isn't it? Sometimes it's choppy to hell and all of a sudden you'll get a beautiful entry in a lovely trade just out the blue. It is boring when it's like this and slow, but you just never quite know when you're going to get that opportunity, so you kind of just got to sit through it. I do try and make a point of doing like a self-evaluation when I'm trading. How am I feeling? Am I feeling impatient? And just keep reminding myself, if it's not a good setup, just don't take it. It's got to be a really nice, obvious setup. There's no rush. 2 or 3 trades a month. 2 or 3 trades a week. If you can do that, you can make a ton of money. And it's much better just to leave a trade alone if it's not right, rather than take a loss and then you've got to take 1 to 2 trades in just to end up getting back to where you were, and you're kind of playing catch up to a degree. I try not to look at it like that. I try not to look at it about trying to get your money back. I try and just keep it in mind it's not mine until the end of the month, till payday. But yeah, I keep just trying to remind myself there's no rush. If there isn't a setup, it doesn't matter. With all the will in the world, if there's no setup, you can't take a trade. Or if you do, you know, you're playing with fire, aren't you? Good short. See, trouble is, it's starting to look sideways now. My gut feeling is at the moment, we do seem to be slowly working up. Now, obviously, we've got this gap up here, so whether that's going to be filled, whether we're going to get so far up and this thing's going to decide to take another leg down, we don't really know. But at the moment, there's definitely a slight bullish feel to it. So oil had a big drop as well overnight. Huge drop overnight for oil. I mean, it came down, what, 55 from 58. So what's that? It's a fair old drop. See, something caused the drop overnight. We had it here as well. Everything seemed to just drop. It's just got to be so careful here. If it is a channel, then it's kind of slowly working its way to this side. And it's kind of, well, it's just congested really. It's not clear. April was boring until I passed 13 emails in 1 minute. It's just nice when that happens, isn't it? Nice one there. I rarely take many together. Usually I just do them one at a time. Occasionally I've had a couple. But I'm going to have a go at two $250,000 accounts with the next CPI on the 13th. I'm going to have a go at those. It's just not a lot of setups. If you know, I was very tempted to take that short because that just looks like two clear legs, or we got to push down a correction. I was very tempted. You see those all the time, and usually they work really well. But I just left it. I don't know why. My instinct told me to take it. Something told me not to. I don't know. But it clearly worked. But those kind of legs really do well. There was one there, but just, I don't know. But I suppose I'd rather err on the side of caution. You're not going to lose a penny not taking a trade, are you? And that's the one thing you can guarantee. I'd like to have a second leg down to here somewhere. I mean, this does look like a channel. We went sideways until we picked up this area. So I'd like to see a little bit more sideways and then maybe something like that to get us down to kind of this cross section would be ideal, onto support at the bottom of a channel. All that, 3 test break, new high, second entry short, good signal bar. Yeah. This is just a bit, I'm just not sure what's going on here at the moment. I don't know, my gut tells me we're going sideways in an uptrend, so I'm guessing it may end up being something like this. So I'm looking at this area with a possible entry somewhere here, maybe a leg and a leg. A little bit more sideways and then like a failed breakout off this area. It's not the easiest of days, that's for certain. Yeah, but I think April had a great March. March was good. January, February, okay. I'm just pleased I've had money every month. That's the first time I've had 4 months in a row. It's the first time I've had 3 months in a row, I think. As long as I'm making progress. I'd love to get below this line because there's liquidity here, there's liquidity here and here. Possibly here, not really too sure. We had a little pullback and there would have been some buyers there, but I'd like it to get below that line. And if we can get a decent entry, you know, that would interest me. I just don't want to take something here because of this liquidity. It might just be a little bit premature. I think I'd rather wait for the breakout and think about taking something down here. See, there's that possible measured move, which would take us down to the bottom here, and that would be a nice second entry long off this area. Now, it may bounce here, but I think it's a bit premature. It's an inside bar anyway, as it stands. There is some orders down here just above 680 on bookmap. Just above 680, which is below this area. Okay, that's cleared that bit out. Okay, bounced off that line. I'd have preferred to broke just below there. So there's two legs down. There's just, we need a bullish bar really. Wanted to break just below there to clear that out. Just got nothing. Okay, so we may get that drop below there. Okay, so that's cleared that out. Let's see what happens. Uh, yeah, I'm not in a hurry to go long here. I'm just not sure about this channel. Looking at bookmap, there's more orders down here. This thing looks like it's working down at the moment. There's orders down here somewhere. Just not sure about that channel. I never loved it, to be fair. Yeah, they have. This one is, sorry, this is the 10,000 tick chart at the moment, but they are both 2,000 tick charts. The only difference with this one is on the data I've got break at end of day. That should be deselected. Break at end of day deselected. That makes these bars ever so slightly different. You can see there, and sometimes if we got great context but a poor signal bar, sometimes this will give you a better signal bar. You can see they're slightly different. So yeah, I just flicked over to, should be a strategy there. New setup, should be 32, yeah. Yeah, if we get good context but a poor signal bar, sometimes this chart will give you the best of both worlds. No, nothing for me as yet, no. Not the easiest of days, to be fair, is it? Now, I've got rid of that channel. Now, there may be a channel up. It may be slightly different, so I'm not in a rush to go short here, although that looks like a channel, because if there is a bigger channel, it could trigger that and push up. Second entry short, that would interest me a little bit more. I don't think there's a bigger channel. Depends how you look at it. If you look at it from there, I'm just not a fan of it. So a second entry short here would be more of an interest. Now, you could argue that's a failure, but there's your signal bar for the failure. So I'm not a fan of it. It's just a little bit unclear. Not only that, we've been a little bit sideways, so it could break out and push in. So a second entry short, that would kind of interest me because we'd be trapping a higher low there. Yeah, there's mixed feelings about this bigger channel. Let's have another go of it. I mean, it could be. I'm just not so sure. So I'm just going to get rid of it for now, I think. Yeah, there is a bull bind to the EMA. The thing is, what I'd like to do is to trigger that one and then maybe give us a second entry short. Trouble is, if there is a bigger channel, there's a higher low there and a bullish bar, so it could push up. But that looks like two legs to me with a break, or a channel with a break. So at the moment, it's just a little bit unclear. Sean, how you doing, buddy? Kind of look like we could be retesting the break at A. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Possible second entry short. Test this underside here, and pull back. I was hoping we were going to trigger that higher low. That will give us a little bit more clarity. I mean, there's orders down here at 75 and above, and there's also orders at 85. So sell orders at 85. If we can get a second entry short, pick up some of these sell orders, this thing may drop down. At the moment, there's just nothing I could do. Okay, that higher low is triggered now, so let's see if this thing comes down now. You're long, are you? On this chart, there's a second entry short there, but it's a little bit above that EMA. So I'm going to sit tight here. Trouble is, on this chart, it doesn't look terrible, but it's slightly above that EMA. So I'm just going to sit tight. It's just not exciting me. It's quite choppy and a bit unclear, so it just makes it so much more dangerous. And if there is a bit of a channel going up, it could continue up. So I'm a bit on the fence here. It could be, in which case it may push up. So there's a second entry short on this chart. It's triggered. It may push up and stop that out, or it could come down. I'm a bit just... It's a bit above the EMA for me. There's not what I would call a good higher low traded here, and it is choppy. So I just don't know. It does look like it's working short. It is a second entry short. Would have worked for a small scalp, but I'm just quite happy to leave it alone. It's not super clear. You have an overshoot of that channel down. This one there. It depends. See, I've got a bit of a stem there, a bit of a wick on that chart there. This chart's slightly different, so it's negligible, I think. That's why I like two charts. It gives you the best of both worlds. It's certainly not an obvious overshoot. I mean, I could tighten that up and say there's an overshoot, but it's only touched one place. It's touched one place here, so yeah, it's negligible, I think. Yeah, that's why I have a second chart, really. It just gives you a second crack of the whip. It's just too dangerous to trade here because it is just choppy. It's hard to know. 1 minute it looks bearish, next minute it looks like this is pushing up. There's a second entry short trigger there and a failure. But on this chart, not so much. So it's just choppy. It could go up and stop that out, or it could drop down. Nothing. I tend to not have to bother counting or anything at the moment. I just look at it, and if it looks right, I'll take it. But it's not exciting me, so I'm just leaving it alone. It's just looking a bit messy and a bit dangerous. Now, you know, there was a second entry short, and it came down a bit. You'd have got a small scalp, but now it's pushing up. Now, but it, you know, in a split blink of an eye, this thing could all of a sudden come down and give us a lower high. But if you look at this, it's chop, 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 chop. So it's just too dangerous. See, if you'd have taken that one and you took any more on the point, you'd have been out. So like, how far did it come down? So it came down, I don't know, you'd have got a 1.5 of a squeeze. That's not enough for me. I'd have gone for more than that. I'd have ended up losing a trade there. So this is just a bit unclear. Yeah, you could say there's a channel with a second entry short, but it's just whipping up and down and going sideways. So it's just too dangerous. It literally just is going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So I've got no idea at the moment. Now, there may be a bigger chart. 1 minute I'm seeing other people with that chart. Next minute they're deleting it. Thomas Wade's put it back and he's got it as a break. So he's got that as a break. Now, it may be, but it's not clear to me. So, and not only that, if that's a break and that pushes straight up, that rarely happens. We rarely have a tiny break in such a, you know, a reasonably sized channel and it just drops and pushes straight up. If that happens, it's usually because it's part of the same channel. So You know, what I will say is we have come down and tested this top. So it kind of makes sense that if this thing's going to continue up, that's probably where it may attract buyers. But it is slightly choppy, so it's just not filling me full of confidence, really. Definitely big orders at 700 up here. Load of big orders there. Yeah, if this is pushing up now, for me, it's part of that channel. You done for the day? Yeah, you take it easy, buddy. You're exhausted mentally. You take quite a few trades. I find the more trades I take, the more exhausted I am. Got to say, if you ever get into a situation of going on tilt, and sometimes tilt can last 5 minutes or it can last an hour. I remember going downstairs after I'd gone on tilt. I ended up managing to get all my money back, but it went on for about an hour and my heart was pounding for about an hour after I got off the stream. It was kind of uncomfortable. I'm going to say I don't miss going on tilt. Occasionally I take stupid risks on the odd, but I don't go all out on tilt like I used to. But it used to absolutely drain you. It's a horrible feeling. Having no control, just jumping in randomly. It seems to move up a bit, you just go long. Seems to move down, you go, oh, I used to be terrible for that. It's a horrible feeling. So if we can get 2 legs down, maybe test this line to push up. I'd like to get maybe a second entry off this area to continue up. Trouble is, it's starting to go sideways now. So we could get a leg and a leg. Could get something like that. Okay, excuse me just for a second. Uh, big orders up here. Sun and exercise. Yeah, I'm gymming it tonight. So there is orders. It's 690 down here. around about there. It'd be nice to get two little legs down to that EMA. Slow. Okay, see if we get channel break new low. See if we can get a bounce off here. We know there's buy orders at 690, so if we can get two legs down, we may get an order off here. Got to get down here really to get me interested in a long there. Just can't take a trade here really. It's too far from that EMA. And now it's stacked up a little bit. I'd like to get a second leg down. That would interest me. Not only that, if you look on Bookmap, there's orders at 690. There's buyers down here, see, so that could trigger and come down for a second leg. It may go up though. But I'm not interested in that. It's too far from the EMA. Ah. I think the only thing going for that is the fact that it's bounced off the top there. It's just too far from that EMA. It looks premature to me. I'd like to see something like that, which would take us down to this EMA and these orders here. There's buy orders down here. You see them on here. 690. These sell orders are getting close. You get down to 690, leg, channel break, 2 legs back. That would interest me. But it could just go up, who knows? Just because there's orders down there doesn't mean they're going to get filled. There is a second entry long, but it's just stacked up. It's just too congested and it's too far from that EMA. bit of sleep, this is. So we're having that flush down, one leg, two legs. Take all day to get back. It kind of feels like that, doesn't it? It is boring when we have days like this. Yeah, we kind of want trades ideally at least around about here or even possibly here. Looking on Bookmap, there's orders down kind of at 90, which would clear out some of this liquidity here. So 2 legs down wouldn't be a terrible place to think about going along. Trouble is, it's easy to get stuck in this, isn't it? It would have to come below there for me. 2 legs down and have, you know, something nice and strong maybe. We'll see. But as long as those buy orders are there, that tells me there's traders sat there with orders to buy. So do I really want to get stuck buying here? You make money in less than 1 hour. Yeah. $13 bars in 30 minutes. 10 a.m. Central is finished. Yeah, he's 6 hours behind me, isn't he? So 10. Yeah, sure he's 6 hours behind me. Central time. It's that 6 hours it is, isn't it? So that's what, 4 o'clock, isn't it? Something like that, 4 o'clock time. I think. Oh no, it's earlier than that. It's got to be. I think he's usually finished, isn't he? About 3 o'clock. Something like that. 3 o'clock time. I don't well, hopefully all his treatment went okay, or the tests he was having, or whatever. I can't remember what he said now. Hopefully everything's okay. We'll soon find out later. We haven't had a mid-morning chart, I don't think, that I can see. It's like an office job, isn't it? All right, yes. But yeah. Apparently we have had one, so he is trading. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. Team leader. Yeah. That was it. Still waiting for test results. Unfortunately, they imaged the wrong part of my body. Unbelievable. So another CT scan on Friday. Should hear something today on my results, so we'll update everyone soon. Fingers crossed. Everything's okay. CT the wrong part of his body. Unbelievable. I was expecting this to drop. So second entry long worked. I don't like it. It's a bit congested, and I expected it to come down a bit lower. Then there's a higher low. Child health. Yeah, see, we have NHS over here. Trouble is, if you want an operation, it takes you about 9 months to wait. Unless, obviously, you're private, which is not cheap over here. But our national health is, well, I say failing. I don't want to say failing. It's struggling at the moment, put it that way. That's because that maniac we got running the country. Mind you, I think the next general election, it sounds like, well, if things carry on the way they're going, I can see reform. They can't do any bloody worse than these muppets we got running the country now. I certainly voted in the local election for Farage. I don't mind him. He's a bit different. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but we've had the same two parties running this country for such a, well, with the exception of the collaboration they had with the Lib Dems a bunch of years ago. Can't get any worse. Certainly does, yeah. And Nigel Farage actually was a trader. That's what you need. You need a trader running the country. He was a commodities trader. That's where he kind of started his career. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want a standard operation in this country, I don't know, whatever it is, you're looking at about 6 to 9 month waiting list, maybe, and the rest. Crazy. Extreme right wing, yeah. I mean, he's not everyone's cup of tea. I get that, but I mean, all the stuff with it's. I mean, it's a lot of the. It's the trouble is, they've been advertising for landlords to take in asylum seekers. They're going to pay the landlord's rent. They're going to pay all that. It's ridiculous. They're throwing so much money at this. You know, don't get me wrong. I understand some people coming from war-torn countries, and I get that. You know, if I lived in some of these countries with my daughter, I'd want to get out. But it's when they come through places like France, which is a safe country, and then they risk the channel on a rubber dinghy with kids. That's what I don't agree with. And it's such a soft touch, this country. We got no money. We're in massive amount of national debt. And we're taking people on with open arms. You can't do it. You don't let someone else move into your house, give them all your wages, and moan on a Friday you got no money left. And you've got sort of, you know, we've got ex-servicemen living on the streets and stuff like that. You know, we've got old people struggling. You can't do it. You know, we're not. You can't just let anybody in and just pay for everything for them. You can't do it. Because you end up broke and no one's got housing. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm not a politician, far from it. I know very little about politics. I just know what we've had recently isn't working and we need a change. And if that means Farage stepping in and seeing what, I mean, obviously a lot can change in 4 years. Hopefully, with all these local elections is showing a different picture. Hopefully, they're going to have to realise that unless they do something drastically, there's going to be a very different government in 4 years. So, yeah, but I know people are just, they've had enough of people are struggling for housing. People have got no money. Old people are struggling. You know, youngsters haven't got a chance of getting on the ladder. Was it better for UK? I don't know is the answer. Was it better? Who knows? The trouble is, unless you really know a lot about politics, you know, you've got one set of experts saying we should run the country this way, another set of experts saying we should run the country that way. If the experts can't figure out and get it right, what are the likes of us got? You haven't got a hope in hell making decisions. Well, Keir Starmer has had a big awakening, and he's realised that unless he does something and drastically quick, the chances Farage is going to be in power, or whether it's still him or whatever, or Reform are going to be in power in the next 4 years. I think there's certainly a good chance of it. So, I don't know, perhaps Starmer may do something about it. He needs to do something drastic. He's got to start getting people back on side, otherwise they're just going to have enough. In Norway now, we are not a member. Norway's not a member, are they? No. You know, I think it's good that we get to make our own rules. We can set our own laws. The trouble is, I agree with what a lot of Farage says. People are too scared to stand up. You know, what's wrong with being English? What's wrong with being British? What's wrong with, you know, celebrate that? There's all sorts of things come out in the past that people get offended. You know, even, you know, when they have kids' nativities, it would offend other people of other religions. you can't change. It's unfair to ask people to change. You know, if I went to places in the Middle East, I wouldn't expect people to change for me. You know, if you want to go and live in a place, you have to understand that, you know, they do things a certain way. I don't know. It's not a conversation. It's a difficult conversation, isn't it? But, you know, sometimes people are that scared to speak up. You know, for worrying about, you know, for fear of upsetting other religions. It's crazy. You know, it's like all the, I don't know, I may upset people here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Things like another topic which is had things like halal meat, stuff like that. If you've ever seen that, if you've ever seen the way those animals are dispatched, I think it's a disgrace. I don't think you should change your rules for other religions. If that's, you know, we have animal rights in this country for a reason. I don't think for whatever religion you should change your rules. If that's your rules and that's the way this country supports animal welfare, you need to follow the rules. It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter about individuals or individual. No, I don't know. I probably shouldn't start talking about stuff. You know, I watched a couple of videos once about halal meat, and I thought it was absolutely gruesome the way they kill the animals. If you get animal rights in a country, that should be the rule for everybody. Sweden is very bad after they have handed migration. Yeah. Yeah, they need to respect the culture. If you go to a country, if you go to another country, you have to respect their rules and their regulations. Now, if you want to pray to whoever you want in the comfort of your own home, that's fine. No one's going to tell you otherwise. But you can't expect people to change their rules and their laws and their values for you. You know, I mean, animal rights is a big thing that, you know, I'm an animal lover. Yeah, I eat meat, I do, but, you know, just, I won't go on. Okay, so what's going on here? It's hard to trade this. I mean, we've had where is this 450? What are we on about? So literally, that's about 45 minutes worth of price action there. Places they don't even sing Christmas songs in children's school. It's wrong. It's wrong. You know, we've been doing that since we were kids. I remember being in a nativity. Why can't you do things we've always done? I'm sorry if people get offended, then don't come and watch them. But it's part of, you know, it's part of who we are and where we come from. We've always had nativities in school, but it's wrong. And I know there was something out 6 or 7 years ago where there was old people who were on the street selling poppies, which we've done ever since I can remember, certainly since before I was born. And people will get offended that that we shouldn't sell poppies. It offends other. No, it's something we've always done. I wouldn't expect to go to a country in the Middle East. They've got their rules and their values and expect them to change for me. Didn't close for Easter. No, I mean, crikey, we've done Easter ever since I was a kid. It's wrong that we should have to change our values for other people that choose to come to this country. You've got to be careful what you say, you know, you don't want to offend people, but is that the problem? Is that the problem? We are, you know, you can't offend Muslims. I know it does seem to be that kind of, you know, I know there are decent Muslims out there. Of course there are. The same with other, you know, but I don't know. It's probably a conversation left for the bar for the when you're having a beer, but I don't think we should have to change who we are in this country or our values in this country and the things we've done. If something offends you, you just don't go and watch it. If you know, if it's whatever it is. This is boring the arse off me. This price action. Keep religion in your house. I agree. I agree. You certainly shouldn't ram it down other people's throats. You know, I'm not really religious. Do I believe in God or something? I like to think there's somewhere else. I'm always kind of want proof, but I like to, you know, think that I'm going to see my family again someday. You know, see my mum again, my dad and stuff like that. You know, I hope when it comes my time that there is someone else, somewhere else. I really do. But I don't think you should ram religion down people's throats. You know, you've your right to pick and choose. They're in the government, yeah. I mean, the government's gutless. God, this is hard trading today. This is boring the arse of me. What time is it? 3 hours. I think I'm done, folks. I'm just going to switch over to micros and do a 1 tick micro just to count the day. So I had 5 days last week. 4 of them were profitable. 1 was a 1 tick. So I've got 2 more days after today. 1 of them needs to be profitable, and I can pull some money out for this month. That's another month with something. So there you go. It's hard going. I mean, this is slow as hell. This has been going on for an hour nearly. Where are we now? 40. Yeah, it's taken an hour to do that. You made 2 ticks. That's 2 ticks more than me, mate. At least it's counted as a day. But yeah, it's not easy, is it? I mean, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I'm bored out my arse. I'm going to leave you guys to it. So look, I mean, it is going up, isn't it? The trouble is we're not coming down to where really we need to have the confidence to get in. Absolutely better than nothing. He's never happy, Karina, is he? But I'll leave you folks to it anyway. Best of luck if you're carrying on trading. Have a great day. Stay safe. We'll catch up again tomorrow. Bye for now.